Coming up on Sportsource, how Georgia athletes are using nutrition to recover faster and stay ready to compete. And UGA Women's Club Flag Football is headed to Arizona this month to compete at the national level. Plus, we take a look at North Oconee High School baseball and their standout offensive performance this season. Sportsource starts now. Welcome to Sportsource. I'm your host, Will Hearn. At the University of Georgia, success isn't just built on the field or in the weight room. It's also built through recovery and nutrition. For Bulldog athletes, nutrition plays a big role in how they bounce back and stay in the game. Sportsource reporter Michael Feinberg takes us inside how recovery through nutrition is fueling performance.
For Georgia athletes, the work doesn't stop when practice ends. Recovery, specifically through nutrition, has become a key part of how athletes rebuild, refuel, and get ready to compete. For Georgia athletes, the work doesn't stop when practice ends. Recovery has become just as important as the workout itself, and nutrition plays a major role in how quickly athletes can bounce back. Behind the scenes, team dietitian Sloan Vlahos helps guide softball athletes through that process. After training, the focus shifts to refueling, replacing nutrients, rebuilding muscle, and rehydrating the body.
It can be medical nutrition therapy, so like counseling for nutrition. And this can involve things like eating disorders, disordered eating, or anything performance related. So if I have athletes that are feeling super fatigued or say they're low in iron, that's something that we cover as well. So really anything with nutrition, whether it's eating disorder, disordered eating, relative energy deficiency in sport, performance related, health related. So for example, I have some athletes with type 1 diabetes. Those are athletes that I meet with on a continuous basis. I also do a lot of team educations. So like with the track team, for example, I go in front of them once a week. For softball, I do a lot more educations during fall or their off season, just because they're here more often, they have more time. And that could be, again, anything with nutrition, hydration, pre-post fueling, performance plates, supplementation, things like that.
For athletes like softball outfielder Natalie Ray, what they do in this window can make a huge difference in their performance. Proper recovery doesn't just help her feel better, it helps her perform better. Without the right fuel, fatigue can build and performance can drop. But with the right recovery plan in place, Georgia athletes can reset, rebuild, and get ready to compete again.
So actually, after every practicing game, we stretch with either our weightlifting coach or our trainer, and we just go through like some static stretches. I think so. Definitely, like if I go to Chick-fil-A like a day before a game, I feel it the next day. Doesn't feel very good.
At Georgia, championships aren't just won on the field. They're built through nutrition and recovery behind the scenes. Reporting for the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Michael Feinberg. For Georgia athletes, recovery has become just as important as practice to prepare to compete. Through a team dietitian, UGA athletes stay ready to compete. Back to you, Will.
Thanks for telling us about UGA nutrition, Michael. Next, the Rock Lobsters are rocking to the playoffs. We'll tell you what you need to know to get prepared for the postseason. Sportsource returns after this short break. Welcome back to Sportsource. The Athens Rock Lobsters are at the top of the Continental Division in the FPHL. And with the playoffs coming up, there's a lot to be excited about. This team can score, they have added big pieces, and now the question is, how far can they go? Let's bring in our analysts to break it down. I'm now joined by Charlie Dew and Will Morrison. Charlie, what's going on with the Rock Lobsters?
The Rock Lobsters are 33-10 in regulation, totaling 116 points, and headed to the playoffs because they score a lot and have strong, well-rounded players. Their offense moves quickly, which allows them to create scoring opportunities from all over the ice. And they never let up on pressuring the other team. With that kind of play style and energy, they're tough to beat and are a real threat as the postseason looms in the distance.
Will, can you describe the team's biggest strength?
The biggest strength of the Rock Lobsters right now is their scoring ability. This is one of the most explosive offensive teams in the FBHL. They're averaging almost 5 goals per game, which puts constant pressure on the opposing defense. On top of that, they hold a plus 89 goal differential, which shows how dominant they are on both sides of the ice. When a team is not only scoring at a high rate, but also limiting what opponents can do offensively, that's a sign of a dangerous squad.
Charlie, who are the key players for this Rock Lobster team?
On offense, there's been a major shakeup late in the season. High-impact forward Garrett Milan is injured with a leg contusion and is hoping to return for the playoffs. Milan has been one of the most productive players in the league, putting up 31 goals and 56 assists. That assist total ranks him third in the league. Milan led the Federal Prospects Hockey League in total points last season, showing just how consistent he's been offensively. On defense, a major contributor is first-year goaltender Carter McPhail. Despite being in his first season, McPhail has played like a veteran. He's recorded 3 shutouts, holds a 92.2% save percentage, which is third in the league, and ranks second in the league in wins with 23.
Will, is there a specific player that stands out to you on this Rock Lobster squad?
The biggest headline move came when the team acquired forward Gus Ford in a blockbuster trade with the Twin City Thunderbirds on March 3rd. Ford was the Thunderbirds' all-time leading scorer and arrived in Athens as one of the most statistically dominant players in the FBHL. Since joining the team, he's made an immediate impact, recording 10 goals and 12 assists in just 10 games. This move shows that the Rock Lobsters were serious about strengthening their lineup ahead of the postseason while holding first place in the Continental Division.
How have the Rock Lobsters performed in recent outings, Charlie?
The Rock Lobsters are 2-3 in their last 5 games. They were riding an 8-game win streak before it was snapped 2 weeks ago. They typically average near 5 goals per game, but over this 5-game stretch, that percentage is down. They've scored 1, 6, and then a triplet of 3-goal games in their last 5. This season shows us that the Rock Lobsters can score at an elite level, but that consistency has dipped as of late.
Looking forward, Will, what can we expect from this Athens squad?
With 4 games remaining in the season, the Rock Lobsters sit atop the standings in the Continental Division. Last season, the team lost in the quarterfinals to the Columbus River Dragons in a 3-game series. They have 2 games against Indiana and then 2 against the Monroe Moccasins to close out the regular season. The Rock Lobsters currently have a 4-point lead on the Moccasins for the division lead. If Athens can hold on to that lead, they'll take the division and secure the #1 spot for their side in the playoffs. The team has to feel good about their chances of doing that, as they have gone a combined 11-2 against Indiana and Monroe this year. All eyes will be on Athens as they close out their regular season and set the stage for what could be a deep playoff run.
Thank you, Will and Charlie. The Rock Lobsters are rocking to the playoffs as they continue their regular season campaign tonight at 7:05 in Athens Ford Arena. Coming up on Sportsource, UGA Women's Club Flag Football founder shares what it means to represent Georgia on a national stage. And later, how North Oconee baseball plans to stay on top and compete for the region title. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sportsource. A student-led team at the University of Georgia is making national headlines. What started as an idea is now taking center stage across the country. Sportsource reporter Charlie Lacey joins us now. Charlie, what can you share with us?
Avery Scott did not just join a team, she built one. Scott played intramural flag football as a hobby before deciding to turn the sport into the real deal. As a founder of the UGA Women's Club Flag Football team, Scott created a space for athletes to play competitively, grow, and represent Georgia. That vision has turned into a major opportunity, with the team earning a spot to play in the Fiesta Bowl. This championship is the first of its kind for women's flag football, marking an incredible milestone for not just this Georgia team, but this sport as a whole. So Avery, what is the team focusing most on heading into the Fiesta Bowl?
That's a good question. We're focusing a lot more on less of the athletic preparation side and more of the knowledge base. We're trying to learn, study our plays, study our own system, and also learn these other 7 teams that are going to be attending Fiesta Bowl. So we're trying to, we know our own athleticism, we know we excel in that realm, and so we're trying to really outsmart teams as much as we can. And a lot of that comes with work off the field, studying plays, studying our handbook, our defenses, and stuff like that.
And what does it mean to represent Georgia on such a national stage like the Fiesta Bowl?
It's such an honor, truly. A school like Georgia has a ton of legacy that comes with it, a ton of prestige, and so to just wear that Bulldog logo is just such an honor and a joy. So we're just happy to be there, happy to represent the G at such a national stage.
And what would a win mean for this program?
It would be absolutely incredible. There are some super talented teams from all across the nation that are coming to this tournament, truly, all across the East Coast to the West Coast. And so a tournament win, we're definitely the underdogs coming in since we are such a new program. And so a tournament win would be such a statement for all flag football players, all flag football teams, that you can do the impossible. And that's what we're trying to do at Fiesta.
And women's flag football has grown exponentially throughout the nation. How have you seen that growth at Georgia specifically?
Yeah, we've had a ton of interest each and every year. We have more and more girls who are coming to try out for our club. Number one, we have tons of girls following our Instagram. It's just growing exponentially. More and more people are coming out to watch our home tournaments, which is really cool. So we can definitely see that we're starting to get more well known around campus and even across the nation, as evidenced by this invitation to Fiesta.
And then as the sport grows in competitivity, how does Georgia specifically plan to keep up with that level of competition?
Yeah, we are just planning on continuing to grow, continuing to involve ourselves in opportunities that have this higher level of competition. We're playing some really good teams at Fiesta Bowl, and so those teams challenge us. Those teams put us out of our comfort zone, and so we're just trying to play our best and keep up with that, show who we are, because we can keep up. And so we're just trying to find as many of those opportunities as possible to keep getting better.
Absolutely. Thank you, Avery.
Thank you.
From building a program from scratch to stepping onto a national stage, Avery Scott and the UGA Women's Club Flag Football Team are proving they belong, and they're just getting started.
Coming up on Sportsource, how a veteran-led offense leads to repeat success. And later, you think you had a good March Madness bracket this year? We check in with UGA students to see how their final brackets busted as the Final Four approaches. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sportsource. North Oconee High School baseball has been turning heads this season with one of the most dynamic offenses in the region. From timely hitting to consistent production across the lineup, the Titans have shown they can score in a variety of ways. Sportsource reporter Nathan Valles has more from practice.
The offense has been the story of North Oconee this season. From the first game to now, the team has relied on depth, discipline, and smart base running to put runs on the board. Even during a recent practice, you can see the focus, fine-tuning, swings, working counts, and staying ready for every opportunity at the plate.
The North Oconee Titans baseball team didn't just start hot this season. They looked like one of the best teams in the state. A lineup hitting over 300, scoring runs in bunches, and showing the same firepower that defined this program. For North Oconee, winning is the standard. Back-to-back state championships in 2022 and 2023, and once again in the hunt for a region title. But lately, the bats have cooled, and as the regular season winds down, the urgency is building.
Sure. Offensively, we've actually struggled a little bit the last couple games, but we've started to kind of turn it around. But yeah, I think one of our big players as far as power production is Landon Dykes. He's at 7 home runs on the season, so that's pretty high in the national average for home runs.
Even through the cold stretch, the Titans still control their destiny in the region race. And that experience, it starts with the seniors.
Well, obviously, after every at-bat, we come back around, communicate what the pitcher's thinking, doing, how it looks, how it feels, so it makes it a lot easier for every batter coming up. I think togetherness, we all have a common goal. It's obviously to win the state championship, but when we're all doing it together, it makes it a lot easier and more fun.
Maddox Bryce, one of the leaders in this lineup, knows what it takes to make a deep run. And alongside him, senior Connor O'Mara, a Woodford commit, bringing both production and postseason experience.
I think the way we've been able to come back in games and not quit when we go down, especially earlier in the games. We've been down a lot, and then we've rallied back and stayed in the game and really just had that grit and be able to pull off games in late.
According to head coach Eric Bounds, the Titans' offense has still tallied 142 hits, 103 RBIs, and 121s through 18 games. And with everything still in front of them, with only 3 losses on the season thus far, North Oconee knows exactly what's at stake. Reporting for Carmichael Sports Media Institute, this is Nathan Baez.
North Oconee High School baseball has shown all season that their offense can carry them, and with the region title still up for grabs, the Titans are ready to make their mark.
Up next on Sportsource, UGA students tell us who they have winning March Madness and how well they predicted the national tournament with their brackets. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Sportsource. March Madness has lived up to the hype this year with major upsets shaking up brackets across the country. Sportsource reporter Carly Smith joins us now. She checked in with UGA students to see how they are holding up.
Thanks, Will. March Madness is known for its buzzer beaters, Cinderella stories, and most of all, completely busted brackets. And for Georgia fans, an early exit in the tournament had plenty of people rethinking their picks. I hit campus to ask UJ students, did those early losses ruin your bracket, or who are you rooting for now as we head into the Final Four?
Well, I had Duke winning it all, and they're gone. They got cooked. So my bracket got busted first game by TCU. I had Ohio State winning, so that blew like 20 of my 25. But I also made 25 brackets. So I had Georgia winning in some. I had them losing in most, but we ended up losing by 30, so that's tough.
Okay, I still have Michigan winning, so that's good, but other than that, everything else was wrong.
I was doing actually pretty good. I made it through like the entire first day, all perfect. Then I got to like the second night, and it all fell apart. I got like 4 games in a row wrong, so I kind of messed up. But right now, I have Arizona winning it all. I have the entire time, so hopefully they'll win it.
Really fast. Like I had a bunch of 12 seeds. There were 5 seeds, which didn't really work out this year. I had all the 12 seeds besides High Point. So, and then my Final Four was Michigan State, Illinois, Michigan, and Arizona.
I am really not into basketball at all, but I'm always down to support Georgia, so I obviously had them winning the whole thing in one of my 2 brackets. I had Michigan winning the other one, and I think they're still in right now, which yay, but also I really wanted Georgia to go the whole way. I knew they probably wouldn't, but a girl can dream, so we tried our best.
Whether their brackets are still hanging on by a thread or completely busted, one thing is clear. March Madness always delivers the unexpected. As the Final Four tips off, UGA students are shifting their loyalties and holding out hope that at least one of their picks survives. Back to you, Will.
That wraps up today's show. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Will Hearn, and we'll see you next time. Have a great weekend.